Thank you. Now it is my pleasure to introduce to you someone who is no stranger to many of us here at Grace-Westminster. Phyllis Robinson is the treasurer of the Saskatchewan United Church of Canada Women's Network for Living Skies region. Phyllis is also the communications chair for the national body of the United Church Women. And Phyllis is here today, just off the plane from this year's National UCW meeting in Toronto. She is here to share a message with us. So let us welcome Phyllis.
Good morning. Here we are. Please use your imagination. Let's go back in time 100 years ago. There was a large gathering at an arena in Toronto on June 10th, 1925. Muriel from the Women's Missionary Society of the Presbyterian Church is there. She says, "Here I am. We need to keep helping our men and women overseas." "Here I am. I'm with you," yells Claire from the Women's Missionary Society from the Methodist Church. Anna from the Congregational Women's Board of Missions says, "Here I am. I am also with you." We need to all work together as the new United Church of Canada's Women's Missionary Society. The church's overseeing missions, work, and service to God must continue. Another woman, Sarah from the Methodist Ladies' Aid Society, also stands up and says, "Here I am." We must continue to deepen the spiritual life of women. We will be there to support our local ministers, visit those that are not well, participate, and lead in Christian education. Many women joined, and the United Church Women's Association came to be. Many years later, the Women's Missionary Society, WMS, and the Women's Association, WA, came together, and on January 1st, 1962, the UCW was born. The UCW has been and continues to be an instrument of change. We have adapted over the years, and it is one thing we do well. Each decade has brought change and new problems to solve. We have had to adapt, even as to how, when, and where we have gathered and shared fellowship with each other. The role of women in society, in families, and also the church has changed. And the women of the United Church of ours have always been there. In 1925, church changed, and the United Church of Canada was formed. The 1930s saw our first female minister ordained, Reverend Lydia Gucci, from Saskatchewan. As the decade went on, looming unrest in Europe was on our minds. The 1940s was consumed with war. The United Church resisted pressure to support conscription. The United Council of Churches was formed with the United Church a member. A few years later, the World Council of Churches was formed. The 1950s was a time of growth. The baby boom was upon us. There were many growing congregations, and it was a time for celebrating a new curriculum for theological studies and church Sunday schools. In 1962, the UCW was formed. There was much discussion on ministry in the 20th century. The United Church offered emergency aid to American Vietnam draft dodgers, and before the end of the decade, union with the Evangelical United Brethren was formalized. In 1970s, the church released a statement. There is one ministry, the ministry of God, into which ministry he calls his whole church. By the end of the decade, inclusiveness of lay people in ministry began. In 1980, Reverend Lois M. Wilson became our first female moderator. And in 1986, we elected our first female lay person as moderator, Dr. Ann M. Squire. Before the end of the decade, the United Church issued our first apology to Indigenous congregations. Before the end of the 1980s, the United Church declared that all members of the United Church who profess their faith in Jesus Christ are eligible to be considered for ordained ministry, regardless of their sexual orientation. In the 1990s, Voices United was published with new inclusive language. Wow, what a concept. We could think of God as our mother as well as our father. But United Church women had known that for decades. During the first decade of the 21st century, the church dealt with issues of truth and reconciliation, anti-racism, HIV/AIDS pandemic, peace building in Israel and Palestine, just to name a few. The next decade continued with the previous endeavors, and much work was done on a new governance structure. The United Church has had many growing pains and will continue to do so, no matter what the problem, issue, upheaval, or injustices we face. Witness in our country and around the world, the UCW is determined to stay together and continue our mission. The world has changed, the United Church has changed, but the feelings we share in our UCW meetings remain the same. Whenever United Church women get together, the joy, the gratitude, the blessings, the love, the security, the openness, the comfort, the unity, and the fellowship are the same as it always was and will continue to be. We support each other and those around us through our times of trial, sorrow, and grief. We also know how to celebrate with gratitude our infinite blessings and joy. No matter what the task, no matter how difficult the program, there is always a UCW member who will say, "Here I am." We shine with our leadership. We are bold disciples. We dare to push for justice, and we do all this in the name of Jesus. Thanks be to God. Oh, and don't let forget, when coffee is needed, here we are.
I would like at this time to invite forward Elaine Panchuk. Elaine will be sharing some information about our local UCW.
The United Church Women, UCW, was formed in 1962 at both Westminster Church and Grace Church, following the amalgamation of Grace-Westminster in 1968 were Judy Strauss, Elsie White, Doreen Brand, Margaret Wildenhaw, Mona Landry, Marion Robbins, Joyce McMurtry, and others. Judy, Elsie, and Margaret continues to be members of our congregation today. The UCW continued down through the years at Grace-Westminster as a fundamental part of the congregation. In Grace-Westminster's 1988 annual report, UCW Secretary Nina Teese noted the importance of the following involvement of the UCW: Sunday morning coffee, lunches after funerals, catering to the men's club, hosting the annual rummage sale, and spring and fall teas. Also noted was the UCW's continued support of Meals on Wheels, Friendship Inn, Sherbrooke Community Center, Oliver Lodge, the Elizabeth Fry Society, St. Andrew's College, World Day of Prayer, CGIT, Interval House, and visiting the sick and shut-ins. While the UCW has continued down through the years to be very active in the life and work of the church, members have steadily diminished, and the average age of members has increased. From the 13 units and about 300 members in 1969 to 6 units with a total of about 100 women in 1988. The units in 1988 were Care and Share, Good Neighbor, Harmony, Mary Martha, Ruth Turner, and Second Mile. 2 units disbanded in the early 1990s, leaving 4 units with approximately 70 members. Early in the life of the UCW, meetings were held in the afternoon once a month. Today, 1 unit remains, Care and Share, with 25 members. When Care and Share initially began, meetings were held in the evening, as many of the members were still in the workforce. In 1988, this young group was initially organized with the help of Donna Barse and Thelma Stevens, wives of the then current ministers. Today, we are back to an afternoon meeting with only 1 organizational meeting held in the fall. Other communications amongst the members is now by email or telephone. Activities undertaken by Care and Share are many. Hosting coffee on Sundays, organizing and working the fall tea, caroling to shut-ins prior to Christmas, hosting the soup and bun lunch early in January, and hosting the strawberry social in June. Our group also financially assists with donations to the church in areas of need, and also financial assistance to community groups such as Interval House and other charities. Care and Share welcomes any new people any new women, not people, in the congregation who would like to be part of this exciting group. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, Elaine, for that wonderful history of our UCW right here at Grace-Westminster.